Hello, my name is Abbie Clark. I used to be a student of Dr. Spates's. I graduated Missouri State with a degree in organizational communication back in May of 2019. Shortly thereafter, I moved to Chicago, was on the job hunt for a couple of months, landed my current position in August of 2019, so I've been there for a little over a year now. I'm an administrative assistant to the HR department, marketing department, and accounting department for a company called Focus, which is development and real estate here in Chicago. How I found out about the job that I currently have, I was on the hunt. My friends knew that I was looking. A friend of a friend of a friend's cousin posted about this position at their company that they were hiring for. It got passed along to me. I saw the job description, didn't think I was qualified for it, applied anyway, got a first interview, got along really well with the hiring manager, who is now my boss and has been my boss for over a year. Had a first interview that went well, had a second interview that went equally as well, landed my position. So now a lot of my daily tasks include various administrative tasks for accounting, so that's credit reporting, being in charge of credit cards or expense reports. For marketing, I work with our marketing department on various marketing efforts, LinkedIn. HR, I am in charge of payroll, open enrollment, a lot of orientations and trainings, stuff like that. Really happy to be in the position that I'm in. A lot of it ties back to organizational communication, which I'm happy about. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna work through a few of these questions that Dr. Space has asked me. So looking back, what advice do I have for those wanting to use their COM degree to get a job? Learn to market your skills. You need to be able to explain how your educational background will be useful in a given field. So we may know what interpersonal communication is, or effective listening, or organizational communication. We understand that language, but a hiring manager who doesn't have a background in communication may not. So, of course, having experience in your field is going to be useful, but having an understanding yourself and being able to give a clear and concise explanation of your educational background and how that is going to play to your strengths in this specific role is really important when it comes to finding a job with your degree in mind. Which communication processes have helped me be successful in my career? Public speaking, effective listening, etc. All of the above. There's not a single class I took in my communication path that has not helped me in my current career. I speak in front of my entire company on a regular basis, whether it's in the form of an HR orientation, some type of training for the company, educational purposes for 401k or medical plans, or fun stuff like wedding registries or baby showers, all of the above. I'm speaking in front of 50, 60 people. Effective listening is important, both in like a one-on-one setting. As an administrative assistant, I need to be able to pick up on what managers need quickly, as well as in the HR department, I need to know what the company is wanting, is needing at the time, as well as research methods. I truly enjoyed research methods as a class. I do a lot of research now. I would say it plays mostly into a what I call an employee engagement survey. So at the end of each year, I'm in charge of creating a survey, having every employee take it, breaking down, analyzing that data, giving it to our CEO so that he has a really data-driven understanding of what's going on in terms of company morale, how we're feeling as a company moving into the next year. Thinking about the interview process, what kinds of questions did recruiters ask me? So I was asked both situational and behavioral questions. These ranged from, give me an example of how you're able to make a decision quickly, to how do you manage conflict in a work environment. I would say that the MSU Career Center does a really great job of working through those first interviews. While I was a student there, I did both virtual interviews and in-person interviews, and I thought they were both very, very helpful. And now on this side of recruiting, as an interviewer, as someone who looks at resumes, works through the hiring process for our company, I know that the questions we ask are very similar to what MSU Career Center will ask you in mock interviews. So I would highly recommend going through and taking that as a resource. Should you consider interning? Absolutely. I 100% would not have the job that I currently have had I not done internships. So I believe I started interning my junior year of college. I had internships in social media marketing, events administration, kind of a span. I wanted to see all of my options that were out there, and I use skills that I learned in each one of those internships in my current role. Each of them play a part into my current position. So you should absolutely consider interning, and I know that MSU has a lot of resources in finding internships. The last question that Spades has asked me to write an answer for is, what are 3 important tips for current students to be successful? Number 1, I would say take risks. Apply for jobs that you don't think you're qualified for, because everyone else is applying for jobs they don't think they're qualified for. You're just coming out of college, you may not have a lot of experience, you may have some internships but not a lot. It doesn't matter. If you think that you have enough skill to get by in this job, to be able to learn if this is a job that you're interested in, apply, see if you can get a first interview. If you get a first interview, know how to talk up your skills, your strengths, and explain how you'd be an asset to the company. So take risks, apply for jobs that you may not be qualified for. My second tip is rely on your network. The friends you have now, the circle you have now are going to be very beneficial in the future. They're going to be able to present you with opportunities for your career, but also they're a great knowledge base. So I would say every week I'm asking someone I went to college with a question on how do you do this specific thing? How do you run this program? Or can you proofread this for me? It's really helpful to have a network and people that you rely on, specifically in your career field. Which leads into my third and last tip, which is ask for help. There's that old saying, which is fake it till you make it, which I do not believe in. You are not supposed to know everything right now. Coming right out of college, you're green, you're new. You are going to learn so much in your first year, in your first job out of college, and that's the way that it should be. So know that it's okay to ask questions. Your boss, the people who hire you into your first job, are going to know that you don't know everything, and that's okay. So know that it's okay to ask them questions. Speaking of asking questions, I will leave my contact information with Dr. Spates if you want to reach out if you have more questions about the job that I do, recruiting from my side. So I sit in on second interviews, so I know what those look like. Any questions about anything like that, just let me know. I'm happy to relay any information that I can. Thanks.